Smoky Mountains. That's a large bear. Right in the trail. 4 bear encounters so far. Might be time to get the hell out of here. That was a good one. Hey everybody, Syntax 77 back with you, and we have finally made it. Finally made it down south. It's a little place called the Great Smoky Mountains National Park down here in North Carolina, right near the Tennessee border. And been talking about coming down here for a long time, and we finally made it. So as you can see right there, standard routine. Got the old V-dub. Actually headed down here right after work yesterday. Got here around 3:30 in the morning from the greater Philadelphia area down here. So a little extra traffic due to a catastrophe. They shut down some highway in Virginia. That added about 2 hours. So it took about 12 hours instead of 10, but what are you going to do? But the bonus is, usually on these trips I have just 2 days, and on this trip I actually have 3 days. So 1 night in the car, 2 nights out in the bush, and 3 days on the trail. Should be a great time. Got my pack down there. This will be my first warm weather trip of the year, so we finally got a nice smaller pack. That's the Osprey Hornet. I got a hammock instead of a tent. Really looking forward to shaving some weight. Base weight is like 13 pounds for this trip, and about 7 pounds of food and water, so we're just under 20 pounds. I will do a separate video on all the contents of that pack, just to save time on this video. Of course, you're going to see all the contents, or a lot of the contents, as we go through this adventure, but for those of you interested, I'll link to a separate full-length video on the contents of the pack. And of course, the good old breakfast there, some Monster. There's a nice little map for reference, but I'll be leaving that behind because I got a nice little paper printout to, again, save some weight. So we're on what's called the Road to Nowhere right now. More on that later, but basically we're going to road hike a little bit up here, get ourselves to the trailhead, which is kind of a unique start. We'll see that in a couple seconds, or about a half mile actually. So I'm gonna pack up, finish my breakfast, and we'll head out on the trail here. Never feels great getting a pack on, but 20 pounds, I can certainly deal with that. Not bad. You can certainly feel the humidity already. It is the last couple days of May. Let's basically call it early June, which is the wettest season, wettest month here in the Smokies, which is also the wettest region, or gets the most rainfall out of anywhere in the eastern United States, I do believe. Ah, barricade ahead. What's that all about, you ask? First sign. Lakeshore Trail. Lakeview Drive Tunnel. And if you look up here, got ourselves a tunnel. Now, the reason this is dubbed the Road to Nowhere, and you can Google it for the full story, but basically, if you've heard of Fontana Dam, that was created, I believe it was back in the, oh man, was it the 30s? I could be wrong. Either way, you make a dam, areas get flooded. Wiped out one of the main, or I should say the only main road to this area, and so they said they'll make this road as a replacement. Turned into a whole nightmare of activity, and it just never got completed. Finally, it officially got canceled not all too long ago, but they got so far as making this road as well as that tunnel. On the other side is the Lakeshore Trail, which we'll be doing a roughly 50-mile loop. We're going to do 20 miles today, 20 tomorrow, about 12 on the last day. Why I thought it would be cool to start here is because it's kind of reminiscent of one of my earliest videos, our tunnel exploration hike. And if you haven't seen that already and you like my full-length videos, check that out. It's a little different, a little more of an urban exploration meets backpacking trip hike. Now those tunnels are more like a mile long. This one here, as you can see, right through to the other side, so we won't be scared to go in this one. Now that graffiti there is why we chose to park a little further down and road hike, because I don't really feel like leaving my car for 3 days at a spot that teenagers come to spray paint, if you know what I'm saying. But kind of a fun way to start today. And then it's back to nature. Oh, I'm blinded. The road ends pretty quickly. We're onto a trail. Alright, here's our first intersection here. Lakeview Drive's where we came from, so let's see what we got going on. See, I print these little sheets out because they're nice and light. Let's take a look at the loop that we're going to do. Now in the Smokies, and I'll get into it, I guess, deeper later, but you do have to pre-reserve all your spots, $4 a night, and you have to tell them exactly what tent site you're going to be at. So I had to really plan this trip out to a T and select my site, so we got to stick to the script here. We came in here, went through the tunnel. We're going to go up here, up this Bear Creek Trail. Now there's site 82, that's where we're going to spend the night. We could go right to it, could go right around to it like that, but we're going to go instead up this Welch Ridge Trail, which should be a nice 5,000 foot or so elevation, and then we'll come down Hazel Creek Trail and hit site 82. Then the next morning we'll go down Hazel Creek some more, come to the Lakeshore Trail, hoof it along there to site 76, camp there. Next morning, about 12-mile hike back out to the car. That is the plan. Now, we're actually tucked in what I believe is the most remote part of the Smoky Mountain National Park, at least that I could find from my research, and that's the it's like the southeastern corner in an area known as the Hazel Creek area, hence that Hazel Creek Trail. So pretty lightly traveled. We're not going to touch the Appalachian Trail. We're going to come close to it when we go up this Welch Ridge. If we kept going up that, we'd hit the Appalachian Trail, but we're not going to. And if we went even further, Clingman's Dome, the highest point on the Appalachian Trail, is pretty close as well. You can actually drive up to that, but we're going to circumvent that and stay kind of remote. Maybe have some more spots to ourselves, especially with the camp reserving system that they have. Once you're locked into that site, if somebody's already there, it's not like you can say, oh, I'll just go to the next one. I'm also going to try something a little different, something new for this trip. I've got the GPS set to record. We'll see how that works out, and I'll post on my website, syntex77.com. I'll put a link in the show notes as well. I'll post a link so you can download the stats for this trip. We'll see how that works out. I'll put a little link right there. Trail is mostly dry, but still got your mud here and there. Like I said, lots of rainfall in this region, but according to the weather report, it's been raining for like a week, and I lucked out for a few days. It's supposed to stop and then go back to raining. Now anything could change up here in the mountains, but we'll see how that holds out. Alright, there it is. This Benton McKay Trail. I know earlier I said Lakeshore Trail, but the Benton McKay Trail down this way is a long distance trail in the Smokies, and like most long distance trails, it's kind of a patchwork of different individual trails. So the Lakeshore Trail that we'll be doing on day 2 and 3 is actually part of Benton McKay. So if you see those signs, that's what's going on. Bear Creek. That's where we're going to head up to connect with Welch Ridge. See campsite 74 and you hear all that water running? That's getting me excited because on day 2 and 3 we're going to come along that way and be popping out here when we go back to the car. So basically this is the beginning of our kind of loop that we're going to make. But we're going to head up here. Now look at this rushing water. Now, if ever there was a time that I wished that I was a fisherman, it is now. Because for those of you, some of you that are screaming at your screen right now, saying, what, you're not going to fish? For those of you who don't know, great for trout fishing around here. You can have a really cool experience to kind of pick a tent site and try to catch some dinner, do a little camping. But not really my skill set. Unfortunately, my friend Mike, who you've seen in my other videos, he almost made this trip. It was very close, but he just, at the last minute we figured out he wasn't able to make it. But I'll have to drag him down here sometime because I think I could convince him to be the fisherman for the trip. Maybe next time. Well, pretty interesting. This fork here, there's a little bridge there, and then it goes up there. You can see they clearly cut the log, so it's a path. Not marked. So for those of you following my GPS data, you might be wondering what I was doing. I actually went up there, all the way up that hill before I realized things didn't feel right. So I believe it actually goes over here, Bear Creek. At least I hope it does. No horses from here on out. Unfortunately, the GPS I'm using doesn't have any detailed map data or trails listed for this region. So I just had to bust a little compass and map out. I'm seeing a lot of bear scat. And also now, it looks like a big tuft of black bear fur. Oh. Definitely snack time. I'm sweating like crazy. It's supposed to go up in the 80s today. Feels like we're definitely there now. It's been about 2 hours 15 minutes and we're about, or I think we're exactly 5 miles into this little trek. Ooh, just got to refuel. Like we got an old structure here. You'll see these from time to time in the Smokies. Because remember, this was an inhabited area. It's not always been a national park. Well, nothing has, right? But I mean, there were plenty of people who lived here. Native Americans, early settlers, all kinds of people before they turned it into a national park. We've been gaining some serious elevation. Finally starting to flatten out. See a little sunshine through here. Clearing. Some sort. Oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, this appears to be some sort of grave site, and the trail doesn't appear to go any further. Alright, that would explain why the trail split down there. Unfortunately, I think I hiked up a trail that was to see these graves. Well, I guess we get some accidental history. $1890. I won't be stepping over their graves. Don't want any bad luck on this trip. 1889. Well, I'll have to look up the significance of this site. But we went the wrong way. So we burned some extra calories. Alright, well, let's get us back on the trail. Fast forward. Well, here we are back at the junction. Burned about 2-mile round trip doing that little excursion. But I guess it should have been a giveaway to me when the horse access went away. But that's alright, we all make mistakes, I guess. Or maybe Elvira was just lonely. Wanted a visitor and summons me, I don't know. Or actually, you don't suppose maybe Elvira and her family were the ones that lived at that homestead up there, huh? Okay, see that structure over there? It's, I'm thinking, tent site 75, which means we're about halfway up Bear Creek Trail. We got about 3 miles to go to get to the junction. We're going about 8.5 so far, and it's about 11:30. A little change in scenery now. Getting up into the 3,000 or so feet area. Plus it's getting sunnier. Don't forget the sunscreen, people. Do not forget the sunscreen. I love when you're getting to see some stuff. Feels like the elevation is never going to stop. Says we got about 1.5 miles still before we get up to the top of this. Oh man, it just dawned on me the most elevation I have in terms of change is on this first day. My 2 hours of sleep that I'm running on. It's wearing thin. Getting close to 5,000 feet in elevation. Feeling some increased wind. Some high grass around here. Oh, I promise I didn't even plan it. But, speak of the devil, I've been waiting to see this sign for a while. Welch Ridge Trail is this way. Jonas Creek Trail up there. And Bear Creek. That's where we came from. Pretty soon I'm going to take the opportunity to make some ramen noodles, get some lunch in me. I haven't sat down yet. We're at 11.7 miles and it's about 1:28 p.m. so figure out where we're at time-wise. Nice to have that off. Now to the left of this, down that way, is High Rocks. And there's supposed to be some pretty good 360 views from there. It's about 1 mile from here, so I figure we'll go down there and check that out so we get some decent views. I'm not sure what the quality of views are exactly on this Welch Ridge Trail. I was originally thinking maybe I could come up here, go down that, then come over here down Hazel Creek to 82. Kind of a long route since you could go this way, but since we took that little detour to that cemetery, and I'm running low on sleep, we'll see how I feel. We'll play this by ear, but for now, let's get some guaranteed views and get down to the High Rocks there. Definitely some high grass back here, but it's also Really nice just to kind of stroll along. Some nice flat terrain, some sun, a little light breeze. Nice. Guess we're going up this thing. Oh wow, that took some work, huh? Little staircase. Don't mind if I do. Oh my god. That's pretty funny. Oh, remember I said I hadn't sat down yet? I guess I get to. Oh man. Look at that. That is awesome. Wind, of course, but hopefully you can hear me all right. That is just amazing. Mountains as far as the eye can see there. That should be Fontana Lake down there. Fontana Dam down there somewhere. And you see that haze on everything. See the Smoky Mountains, the name. It's not because they have a lot of campfires. It is because there is always that haze, like a foggy haze. There's actually humidity in the air. Like I said earlier, this is the this area gets the most rainfall anywhere in the eastern United States. And then you got these deep valleys trapping all that steam and hotness in there, and it all just, well, sits out there like smoke. Smoky Mountains. Amazing. Well, this seems like as good a place as any to have some ramen noodles. Just remember not to drip food all over yourself in bear country. Be a little extra careful around here. So we'll take Welch Ridge Trail down to Cold Spring Gap Trail and finally to Hazel Creek. Should be about 6 miles or so of downhill mostly, I'm assuming and hoping for. I just got snorted at by a brown bear. Pardon me, by a black bear. There's no brown bear around here, or else I wouldn't be quite as relaxed right now. Oh wait, are those wild hogs? That's interesting. I don't know. That went by pretty quick, but I thought it was cubs, but they almost look like they're right over that ridge there. They almost look like hogs. I don't know. You tell me in the comments section. Maybe I'm just seeing things. Either way, if it's cubs and a mom, I ain't messing with that. And then if it's wild boars, I ain't messing with that either. Bugs are coming out more now. Ugh, at least I got my coffee. I think we're supposed to cross this. At least, I guess we'll find out when we get to the other side. Yeah, that was it. No real blazes that I've noticed in this area. The best you have is either other people's footprints, which on a trail like this there isn't a whole lot, although you can see hoof prints from horses. And basically just anytime you see a tree that's been cut up, then that's the best kind of sign you have that you're still on path. especially in like a area like this where there's no real footprints or rutted out areas to go by. Now this here should be Hazel Creek. Looks like I'll double check my map, but it looks like we probably have to cross this bad boy. And once we do that, we should be able to hook around pretty soon, do those last couple miles and get to that campsite. I brought something just for this task. Cost me 6.5 ounces for the pair, but it'd be worth some dry feet. Well, I did lose a flip-flop, although you see I have them both now. I had to go down there to fish it out. Ended up tearing my feet all up anyway, so you know, dry boots but beat up feet. Trade-offs. Boots feel good compared to flip-flops. Alright, here we go. Big old chunk threw me off, but Hazel Creek Trail. I'm gonna be up here. Should be about 2 miles. It's 6 o'clock right now. Sunset 8:40-ish, something like that. So knock these last 2 miles out. I don't know, it's looking pretty good over there. Just looking for some sort of marker, a post with the 82 sign, or okay, I'll take that, or a little bench. Nice. We made it to the home. It's 6:40, and let's see what the total mileage is for today. 20.02. So we made it to 20 miles on the dot after all. And this tent site looks pretty nice. Looks like we got it to ourselves too. Let's check out, let's really nerd it up and check out some data on my Fitbit. Fitbit is just a little, like a pedometer. It says we did 19.88 miles, that's pretty close. 4,400 and basically 4,500 calories. Now that's gross calories, that's counting just calories sitting around burning calories breathing, so not just for hiking. So by the end of the day that'll probably be up to 5,000, and it's not even accounting for the fact I was wearing a bag. So I think I can afford to eat today. 42,700 steps, and it thinks I did 434 flights of stairs. That's pretty funny. Oh man. Whew. Let's get a home set up. What do you say? We got a nice spot here, water source, lots of clearings. Now, my 2 previous videos, we were shoveling out tent sites in the snow and all that madness. None of that today. Nope. It's gonna be a little bit easier. Just gotta find a spot. Now, you may remember this guy if you saw my New York video in the Catskills. This is my Hennessy hammock. Same deal, only I did one little upgrade to it that's going to make setup even easier than it was already before. Let's check it out. This are Hennessy snake skins. Two pieces, basically a stuff sack that runs longwise. Just hang it up like you normally would, and then all we gotta do is this. There it is. Got the rain fly right there, and everything ready to go. Just gotta tie it out. Now some guys will not include the rain fly in the snake skin. Some guys will do everything like I just did here, and I guess you could have a separate one for each one if you wanted, whatever you're into, but I like it. It makes it a lot easier to pop it up there. Next upgrade is just I want to change, get some quick straps so I don't have to mess around with knots, but maybe next trip. Shelter ready. Got my fly a little wide on this side. I don't anticipate rain tonight, but if there is, then I can adjust that a little lower. But this way I have an easier entrance on this side, and then in the back to cut the wind, since I won't be in and out of this side, I did it a little tighter angle up against there, so that should cut some of the wind from one side in the back there, and then easy access in the front. All right, enough of that. Dinner time. There's two bear bag areas here, me back there, and then a second one up here. So I'm going to go ahead and keep my food. I've already got it up there just for safekeeping since I'm alone and not making a lot of noise. I keep my food way over here and then camp over there. Keep everything nice and separated. I'll eat over here. Should be nice. Now, you know that I love these Pro Pack meals by Mountain House because they're nice and vacuum sealed in their smaller portions. But EMS, that at least the one near me, always seems to have just chili mac and the spaghetti, and we're sick of seeing that on these videos. So finally ordered this off of Amazon. The price wasn't that bad compared to the store. Sweet and sour pork with rice, so this will be a first. Yes, this is how bad it gets out here. You think about this all day. I've been really looking forward to that, especially because my lovely wife, sushi connoisseur that she is, made sure that I had some spicy mustard and some soy sauce. So we're having a Asian buffet tonight. And there it is, sweet and sour pork with rice. Oh man, good day. About 8 o'clock, soon it'll be hiker midnight. Basically means when it gets dark, I'm done. So I'm gonna have my dinner here, hit the hay, do another 20 miles tomorrow. We'll backtrack a little bit and then head on to the Lakeshore Trail. More water, more fun. Smoky Mountains, day one. Oh man, sweet and sour pork is good too. No joke. Day 2 begins. Whew, I need some coffee. And then we hit the trail. Alright, so we backtracked about 2 miles to get us back to the Cold Spring Trail where we came from last night. Only we're going to keep going down Hazel Creek, about 6 miles or so, and that should link us up with the Lakeshore Trail. Today's goal. A little bit of a landslide around here. Lots of standing water along this trail so far. Great for bugs, but good time to bust out the old Permethrin treated bug net. Best 1 ounce I've ever carried. And makes quite the fashion statement. We're cutting through a little more heavily traveled area, at least relative for this area. You see that's tent site 85. They got a legit picnic bench. Check them out. Not bad. But we'll keep on moving. Got a nice flat section here in this more popular area. Left around 8:30 this morning, and it's about 10 o'clock now. And we've made about 4.5 miles, so about an hour and a half in so far. making good time, a lot better time than yesterday. So we'll see how long it takes to do this next 4.5 to get to the Lakeshore Trail. Anybody who wants to explain to me what the heck this thing is, please feel free. I love weird stuff like that. I'm not quite sure what that thing was. Alright, got another sign. This should be what we were waiting for here. There we go. Lakeshore Trail. This way, that's us. It's also the Benton MacKay Trail. So we'll head down here. Hazel Creek was pretty cool. Nice and flat. You see we even got some gravel in some spots. A lot of trout fishermen out today. I'm not sure if they set up camp at one of these sites or there's road I don't see road access anywhere from briefly looking at the map, but anyway, a lot of people without, you know, overnight packs, but fishing gear. So must be a great trout spot, I'm assuming. But now we should be getting into some more remote stuff as we move on here. Gone about 9 miles so far. Got about 9 to go, so we're about halfway there mileage-wise, assuming the terrain doesn't get too bad. It's about 11:30, so we're 3 hours into this hike, and maybe, I don't know, 3 to 5 to go, depending on what happens. Well, I hope you really enjoyed all those nice sights we just had, because I have apparently been going the wrong direction for about a mile. So, hope that was worth it. In the meantime, I gotta go this way. Maybe I'll try some trail jogging. Fast forward. There it is, the source of the wrong turn. My ego is begging me to edit this out, but I'm going to resist. Oh, remember how I said the tent site was 9 miles from here? Well, it's actually 12. When it rains, it pours. Also, do you realize that that's 2 days in a row I've had wrong turns where we've ended up doing a visit to a cemetery? And we started this hike with the spooky tunnel. Kinda creepy. About 1:30, about 13.5 miles in the grade in the last little bit. It's taking a steep turn up, gaining some elevation. That's a large bear and cubs. even know we're here. They're digging for food. I'll try to zoom in a little bit. It's gonna get shaky, I'm sorry. Let's see if we can get a different angle. Alright, I think she noticed me. Wait. Might be time to get the hell out of here. Yeah, she looked down here. They saw me. She's sniffing the air. I could see her sniffing. She smelled me. Which means it's probably time to skedaddle. Now, she's with the cubs, so you don't want to get in between them at all. But her number one priority is protecting that cub. You don't want to approach them or anything. You can watch them. Chances are they noticed you. They're not going to bring their cub towards the strange alien in the woods. But just be smart with the bear encounters. That was a good one. You can actually see some mountains over there. There they are. That's a bear right in the trail. And I would rather have it go away. Oh, great. Now I heard a snort up there. Tactically, this is a little different than the other encounters. Hello! Anybody, little cubs and whatnot, you might want to join your mother? Don't want to stand between you. All right. Hello. I am not dinner, breakfast or lunch. Okay, I think we're clear. I saw it just on the other side of that tree. I said, that's got to be a horse. It's right in the trail. But it wasn't. And it was so close, I probably could have gotten an amazing shot, but I also would have been face to face with it, and I didn't know what else was going on with the cubs and whatnot. So, best to spare a good shot on that one and play it safe. Man. And before that, a couple miles ago, I had another bear encounter. So that's 4 bear encounters so far. Looks like the Lakeshore Trail is finally starting to live up to its name a little bit, huh? Really starting to like this now. We're pretty high up on this ridge, and the water down there. We're actually about 23 miles into today's hike, so probably within the next mile or so, at around the 24-mile mark, I'm thinking we'll get to the campsite. But absolutely beautiful. Ah, what do we have here? Campsite 76. 1/10 of a mile, we can do that. So we made it. Total mileage today, looking like 44.5 trip total. So minus the miles yesterday, yeah, 24 miles, and took about 10 hours or something like that. Nothing like a 24-mile hike. Get things going. Well, let's check the Fitbit out too. 4,300 calories. 6:02 p.m. 50,700 steps, so more than yesterday, but that makes sense. 213 stairs though, so half the elevation challenge today, which was a good thing since I did the extra mileage. 23.72 miles. So yeah, pretty close to what the GPS is telling me. About 6 o'clock, so we got a few more hours of daylight left. Pretty modest compared to yesterday's affairs. This is it right here from what I can see. Got your cable system right over there. And yeah, this is pretty much it. So this is where we'll rest up to get started tomorrow with our third and final day of adventure. Right now, I think you know the routine. I'm just gonna find a place to set the hammock up, have some dinner, and pass out. Only downside it is very buggy. So I'm actually gonna do a fire for a change. Desperate times call for desperate measures. We need some smoke around here. Morning of day 3 has arrived. Have ourselves a nice breakfast, pack up, and hit the Lakeshore Trail one final time. Bear bag system, very simple. Just have your clip here, unclip it, take that off, and then we'll just use these little handles that they have spaced out every foot or so, and we just use that to wheel it up and down. In our case, down, because we need some breakfast food. And they just have these double hooks on there, and you go right through the strap on your pack. You see I put a plastic bag on the outside of mine too, just for some protection. But that's all there is to it. And there we go, back on the trail. About 8:30. I actually slept in a little longer today, but went with some iced coffee to save time to get myself on the trail, and had a Cliff Bar. So while it would have been nice to have a hot breakfast, the faster we get back to this car, the faster we get a hot burger. And not to mention the 12-hour drive that follows it. So figure we'll just we'll keep that cheeseburger as an incentive and hit the trail at a decent time in the morning here. Should be about a dozen miles or so to get back to the car. It's really starting to open up now. There it is, Fontana Lake. Pretty clear water. Nice color to it. basically we're just following along the lake, except for spots where the terrain makes it have to go off course. We kind of dip into the woods, so we're basically just alternating between water, woods, mountains, water, woods, mountains. Pretty cool variety pack. Plus we get to see a lizard, so score all around. Pretty thick in this section. About 11:30, and we're like 7 miles in out of about 12 today. Within the last couple miles, we've deviated from Fontana Lake, and we're just hitting a lot of switchbacks through the woods now. Whew. And cobwebs. Finally passed a couple hikers on the trail for the first time in 3 days, so that's usually a good sign we're getting closer to the road. Plus it is Saturday. I purposely came out on a Thursday, Friday, and then ending on a Saturday. But we're definitely getting closer to the road. And here we are back at the tunnel. Just about 12 miles on the dot. No wrong turns today. So, on the other side of this tunnel will be the car. Check out the final stats and get this pack off. How you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Pretty good. They were having some trouble getting their horses to want to go through there. Although, it might not have helped them that there was my strange self in the tunnel as well. There is a, if you want to add an extra mile, if you want to avoid the tunnel, if your horses don't like it, or maybe you just don't like the dark, you can add a mile. There's a tunnel bypass trail. But speaking of bypass, we're pretty much done this. All in all, pretty successful trip. Gotta say, really like the Smokies. Mountains aren't quite as severe as up north, say New Hampshire, White Mountains, etc. But just beautiful, kind of rolling nature to them, and by far the most wildlife on any of these trips yet. So, I mean, bears, snakes, lizards, turkeys, you name it. There's what I've been waiting to see. No missing windows either, that's nice. Get this pack off. Very nice. Have that off the back. Let's check the trip totals. So we did 12.5 today. Trip info 56.96, let's call it 57. So 57 miles. Estimate was around 50-ish. We did a couple excursions that racked up a few miles here and there. So 57 miles in 3 days. I think, you know, I was looking to test the limits of my new lighter weight backpacking system, and I think we accomplished that. Like I said, if you're interested in what I actually packed in, I'm going to do a follow-up video that will go into detail on all that. So feel free to check that out if you're interested. And I'll also be posting all of the GPS data, track data, and all that stuff over on my website. I had a few people ask for that, so I finally did it for you. Until next time, I'm Syntax77, and right now, it's cheeseburger time.